Long ago, there was a man named John who lived alone on the island of Patmos. During his time of silence in this deserted place, he received a wonderful vision from God. This was no ordinary dream. This was a supernatural revelation, a prophetic image that opened the door to the future. In the vision, John was transported into a space of glory beyond imagination, a heavenly throne resplendent with light and colors never seen on earth. Everything reflected the majesty and power of the Most High. It was at the center of that glory that he saw Jesus, the embodiment of holiness, approaching a mysterious book sealed with 7 seals. This book contained the secrets of the fate of the world. In the mystical setting of the heavenly throne room, the centerpiece of the vision is a wondrous scroll sealed with 7 seals. No one in heaven, on earth, or under the earth can open it, or even look inside. But only one is deemed worthy: Jesus. He steps forward in majesty and mercy, ready to reveal things that have long been hidden. Each seal represents an important stage in the divine plan for humanity. Jesus' opening of each seal is not just a symbolic act, but also the beginning of a grand chain of events, revealing the challenges and hopes that lie ahead for the world. All eyes are on him, waiting for the truth to be revealed. When the first seal is opened, a rider on a white horse appears. He is called Conqueror, wearing a crown and carrying a bow and arrows. But he comes not to wage war, but to spread truth and peace. He represents the desire to win through truth and faith. Despite his noble will, his path is not easy. Not everyone is ready to accept the truth, and the light is not always welcomed. Conqueror's journey is a metaphor for the constant battle between light and darkness in the human soul. Through this, John understands that planting truth and faith requires patience and courage, because there are hearts that will be closed to the light of truth. The second seal opens with a fierce scene: a rider on a scarlet horse, carrying a great sword. He is called War, and wherever he goes, peace is lost. Under his feet, people turn against each other. Understanding is replaced by anger and resentment. Once peaceful communities are torn apart by hatred and violence. War represents not only physical conflict, but also the division of minds and hearts. John recognizes that in the journey of humanity, there will come a time when the darkness of disagreement overcomes the light of understanding. But at that moment, people need to look within themselves to find the way back to peace. The third seal ushers in a period of darkness. A rider on a black horse appears, holding a pair of scales. He is the personification of famine, a symbol of food shortages and unfair distribution of resources. Every meal becomes precious, and people begin to feel the pain of hunger acutely. But in such dire circumstances, there is also an opportunity for kindness to be demonstrated. Those who can still share even a small amount bring light into the darkness. John understands that this trial is a test of compassion and solidarity between people. In the face of adversity, kindness and sharing are the greatest forces that can sustain hope in the human community. When the fourth seal is broken, a terrifying sight appears. A pale, gray horseman of death appears, with Hades at his heels. They bring with them the breath of disease, famine, and death. Not only are the bodies destroyed, but the human spirit is also covered in the darkness of fear and despair. It is a time when life becomes fragile, when familiar things gradually fade away. However, in the midst of this pain, John feels a profound message. Time is precious, and kindness must be cherished. Death's presence is not to instill fear, but a reminder for people to cherish the present, to love those around them, and to live with compassion in each finite moment. When the fifth seal was opened, John saw a group of people standing under the altar in heaven. They were people who had sacrificed themselves for righteousness, for faith, and for their loyalty to the truth. Although they had lost their earthly lives, their souls were still alive, dressed in white robes symbolizing righteousness and unwavering faith. They cried out for justice, longing for the day when goodness would be restored and all injustice would be abolished. The sight deeply moved John, for it proved that goodness is never forgotten. Those who live righteously will be rewarded, and sacrifice for truth always leaves an eternal mark in the heart of God, a promise of the ultimate victory of truth. When the sixth seal was opened, a terrible earthquake occurred. The earth shook with earthquakes, the sun turned black as coal, and the moon turned blood red. The sky was torn apart. The stars seemed to fall from the sky. The scene terrified everyone. From kings to commoners, all sought refuge. However, this was not the end, but a profound warning. John understood that these signs were given to urge people to reflect, to look back on their lives and change. It was an invitation to return to goodness, to unite and rebuild what had been broken. In the midst of desolation and ruin, there was still an opportunity to restore and renew the world. When the seventh seal was broken, something unexpected happened. The whole heaven fell into absolute silence. No sound, no words, everything seemed to stand still. That silence was not a meaningless void, but a sacred moment of reflection. It was the moment when heaven and earth held their breath before what was about to happen. In this silence, 7 angels appeared, each holding a trumpet in his hand. They said nothing, but their presence was a warning. There were still greater challenges ahead. John realized that silence was an opportunity for people to look back, strengthen their faith, and prepare their souls for the difficult journey. This was the calm before the storm of time, to be awake and ready. From the vision of the 7 seals, John not only witnessed the disasters that would befall the world, but also learned valuable lessons about courage, hope, and unwavering faith. Each opening of the seals is not just an event, but a message. Light and darkness always go together, but it is in trials that human qualities are most clearly revealed. Regardless of war, hunger, or death, faith is the guiding light. Love, compassion, and justice will never be extinguished if people know how to accompany and support each other. John realized that the message of the vision is not the end, but an invitation to stand firm, together, through the darkness towards eternal light.